Swooning for some jazz?
Let Nothemba Madumo serve you up some jazz and beyond.
On 702 and CapeTalk.
Abdullah Ibrahim, welcome to the Urban Jazz Experience.
Welcome and thank you for your call and greetings to your listeners.
How's the globe-trotting going? You know, you're in Germany now. Are you going to Australia, I believe, after this?
No, we just finished a United States tour.
Yeah?
Where were we? Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Seattle, Minneapolis. Yeah, and I'm now at my Fazioli grand piano, writing and practicing daily, and then heading to South Africa for the project.
Yes,
with you, Mr. Keller. Yeah,
the Jazz Epistles one. And
precisely.
Now that you're talking about right now, you're writing and you're practicing. How do you practice every day, and for how many hours?
25 hours a day.
25 hours a day. And then people wonder why you are where you're at in the world of music right now. My goodness.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do with practice, you see, because it's in your practice that you actually begin to understand. Whether it's music or for myself, I've been studying Budo or martial arts for 50 years. So it's the practice that gets you there. The performance is maybe like 10%. Miles Davis used to say that he hated going on a concert tour because it interfered with his practice.
Sounds like him. And clearly that's you right now also. You know, do you love the performing part, or what part does it play for you? Well,
our only goal is to perfect what we're doing. So that we present this to our audiences. For myself, I regard my audiences as the best musicians in the world.
Explain.
See? I regard every single person in the audience as the best and most informed musician. See? So from my perspective, I only have to do my best and to be as sincere as possible.
And what are your expectations from the audience, these best musicians, as you call them?
Well, we work it out together. You see, during the performance, there's a call response between me and my musicians, but there's also call response between us on stage and the audience, even though it's unspoken.
So how much of what you do is actually on instinct?
Everything. You see, for us, there's no past, there's no future. It's only this moment. And in terms of our genre, how we play improvisation, it's that moment where everything that you've learned and acquired comes together at that specific moment. But you don't have to think about it.
So what about destiny, looking to the future? Don't you plan? What's your philosophy on destiny?
Well, everything is living its destiny. See, so for me, the principle in traditional culture is fantastic. In Japan, for example, there is this understanding of the beauty in decay. And understanding that everything is what we call in the time of in nature's time. If we observe the seasons and the plants and the trees, you say, there is no, for example, like an old flower and an old tree. You see. So the idea is that you see beauty in decay. So there is actually no past, no future. There's only this moment of living. You grasp everything that you can from the past. You research that, but you do not rest on it. You see, for us, one of the principles that we understand is that language is a finger that points at the moon, but it's not the moon itself. So instead of us getting involved in language, we try to experience the brilliance and magic of the moon, and not the language.
So, talking about expression, how do you express your inspiration in music or in life? How do you express what you are inspired by, or even better, what inspires you?
Well, we are all inspired. You see, everything is inspired. Inspired, right? Mm-hmm. So inspiration is what comes into you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? What you digest from that inspiration that comes into you, how you digest that, and how you formulate it to express it. Mm-hmm. This is what the key. So for us, whatever we do is 10% obvious and 90% is hidden, instead of 90% obvious and 10% hidden. So in terms of inspiration, what do we are all inspired? It is how we digest and resolve and expire that inspiration.
And how does Abdullah Ibrahim do it?
Practice, 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 practice. Train, 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 train.
Until your fingers hurt.
There are no shortcuts. It's not even a shortcut. It's a joy.
It's a joy. We have a very exclusive and very special conversation with Abdullah Ibrahim, who's going to be performing on the 15th and 16th of June at Empress Palace, together with Hubert Zigela on the project called Jazz Epistles. Actually, let's talk about the Jazz Epistles and what memory that brings for you, the fact that you're going to relive it, so to speak, on stage.
Well, if you look at my homepage, right, abdullahibrahim.co.za, mm-hmm. One of my musicians, Lance Bryant, is a tenor player and also arranger, and he has rewritten the charts of Jazz Epistle. He will be with us in Johannesburg.
Fantastic.
So if you read what he says about Jazz Epistle, he says that in the 60s was a time when jazz musicians accessed and began to quantify the African experience. So these are jazz musicians, and jazz musicians even created non-traditional forms and concepts, which was. This happened in the 60s in the United States. But he says that Jazz Epistle in South Africa in 1959, we were way ahead of this already.
Wow.
Precisely. But we understood this, you see, and it was quite incredible when I met Ornette Coleman and Don Cherry. And Ellington and these musicians, the first thing they said to me, we've been listening to Jazz Epistle.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So we inspired our nation, we inspired Africa, and we inspired musicians, jazz musicians in the United States. Because we were creating this, and it was a principle that we have to get away from this tonality centers, not just in music, but in our social, economic, political understanding.
Sure. Wow.
Because we were always bound to tonalities, whether they be your movement or whatever it was, whether they call it apartheid or stuff like that.
So obviously, you were creating that while you were in South Africa before you went away on exile.
Precisely. You see, we like with the Kipi Moketse, for example. Did you know that Kipi Moketse was a proficient classical clarinet player? He used to play Mozart's clarinet concerto.
Mm-hmm.
See? So what are we doing at with the Jazz Apostle Project in Johannesburg? This concert, we're presenting tributes to Kipi Moketse with some of my musicians playing, making to Kipi, a dedication to Kipi.
That is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic, and I mean it's going to be an incredible tribute to him and his music and his talent.
Yeah, the problem was that he was never able to do that. You see, in terms of the level. But this is a scenario with most jazz musicians. If you look at Fats Waller was a classical organist. But Powell was a child prodigy classical musician. Billy Strayhorn with Duke Ellington wrote the song "Lush Life" when he was 16 years of age.
Sure,
but he was classically trained. You see, for myself in Cape Town and Johannesburg, I studied everything: European classical music, Indian music, traditional music. I lived everywhere in South Africa to absorb our local culture.
And in your travels, which cultures have had an impact in your life and the music?
All cultures.
And even just your outlook to life.
Yeah, well, if you look at for example, now we do work with the last remaining Bushman people in the Northern
Karoo.
Cape. Mm-hmm. In the Northern Cape. We have a project on the Green Kalahari project.
The Kalahari,
right?
Okay, yes.
And my teacher in Japan, my Budo teacher, we have unbelievable resonance with the Japanese traditional culture and our culture, our traditional culture, and Native American culture, because hunter-gatherers everywhere in the world have the same dimension or dynamic. So my understanding is ancient tradition, new relevance.
Ancient tradition, new relevance.
New relevance.
And
because we have to make it relevant, especially for young people. What shall you do with the tradition?
It has to be relevant.
Precisely.
And to the present.
And to the present. Okay? So this is our project. I've been working on this academy for decades, and it seems now that we have some support to create this. Because with young people, we'll say, what is if you have to take a product to the market? You must take something unique.
Absolutely.
You see, and the uniqueness is your story. You see.
And everybody.
But precisely now we have this wonderful technology that we can utilize. Okay.
Let's talk about how everybody has their own story. Do you believe every musician has got their own voice?
Not even every musician. Everything has its own voice.
Everything.
Everything. Say the wind has its own voice. The trees have their own voice. The stones have their own voice. Human beings have their own voice. Animals have their own voice.
So why do we?
I'm speaking to you now, right?
Yeah.
So there are, and you're speaking to me. There are millions and millions of people in the world, but I can hear and recognize your voice anywhere, and you can do the same with me.
We're all distinct.
So it means that we all have our individual voice.
So what do you think of musicians then who want to sound like other people?
Well, if you to start off, it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
to start off because you find some direction. The problem is that you don't stay there. So you have to find your own voice. It's a means to an end. Again,
Uh-huh.
a language is a finger that points at the moon, but it's not the moon.
Wow.
Okay? I've been working and researching ever since my youth, walking the streets of towns and cities and mountains and rivers all over the world, looking for a sound, right? Searching for the specific sound that I was hearing but couldn't play.
Mm.
Then, after years and years of research and searching, I discovered what I was looking for was not the sound. I was looking for the silence.
The silence.
The silence.
Because there was too much noise going on. What?
In our own heads.
Actually, it's just so noisy in Johannesburg, and with everybody and everything making a hell of a noise. I think I get it.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, so the silence, you can find the silence in a crowd.
Mm.
You see?
Mm.
In a crowd. And that is what all the jazz musicians have aspired to. So, my musicians we are sharing now something that is doing the rounds with all jazz musicians.
What's that?
Charlie Parker.
Aha.
Right? Charlie Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Charlie Parker recorded something with strings, an album. It's called Charlie Parker with Strings, which all of us used to listen to. We used to wear out that ride off listening to this.
Mm.
Last year, the record company released Charlie Parker with Strings, the original recording session, with songs with different takes of each song. You see? So it's take number one, take number two, the same song.
What?
But it's unbelievable because when you listen to every solo, it's totally different from the one before. Quite incredible. And that is the principle of the moment.
Of the moment.
Of the moment.
Which musicians have you learned from? I mean, I know you know and have met the likes of the Duke Ellington, Monk, and so forth. Who have you learned from?
We listen to everybody. We listen to everybody. People are all inspired. We are not in the culture of name dropping. You see.
No, I want you to.
We are inspired.
I want you to name drop.
We are inspired. For example, some of the people who were really inspiration. If we mention their names, it will be irrelevant. There was, for example, in Cape Town, they used to have what they call dipa, like a piano party.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
piano party.
Okay. Just
piano in somebody's house. I would have a piano and a piano player, and he would play like traditional South African music. Mm-hmm. But in a piano system, the piano style that was quite unique. And there was one guy in Cape Town, his name was Tickles. Because they said he used to tickle the ivory. And as a kid, I used to go and sit there next to him and listen to the stuff. And people were dancing, and he would play, okay, I give a shilling for this song. And another say, Tickles, for example. But then later on, the musicians like... in South Africa, for example, I really look at all our musicians, Boyce Gwele, Tot Machikisa. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of them
of musicians
that inspire us. But not just pianists, but all musicians. And then for me, my biggest inspiration still is the traditional music. Mm-hmm. The traditional music of South Africa,
because you can still hear it in your sound, or should we say in your silence? or in your tone?
You see the traditional music, right? I've long been asking South African jazz musicians to play traditional music. Very, very few of them hardly anyone wanted to play it because it was regarded as being decadent. See? Because now we're dealing with social issues, right?
And this is where you talk about ancient tradition with new relevance.
New relevance, sure. Right.
That's what you mean.
So researching our traditional music, I begin to understand the complexity of it. Right? So I'm wondering why it is that, for example, in India, there are so many people who have high-tech skills, right? And I trace it to the music. Because traditional Indian music is very complex, right?
Yeah.
So as a child, as youth, you grow up with this complexity, right? Which means that you can deal with complex issues, whether it's if it's outside of the music as well. So, for example, like IT, right? My teacher in Japan yesterday I speak to him daily, and he said to me there was just a television program that was speaking to this very famous brain surgeon, and the analogy that he proposed was that it's good for people to learn to play piano. You see, because the complexity of it exercises the brain in some way. Right?
Yes.
So this will avoid Alzheimer, for example.
To play the piano if you don't want to suffer from Alzheimer.
Yeah, it's not just even piano. It's understanding and practicing tradition and dealing with complexity. So about 4 years ago, I took my musicians from New York. I took them to Kimberley, right? And I had a traditional, the Tswana dance group. I had about 20 of these groups. And my musicians, even today, they say to me, these are New York musicians, right?
Yep.
They're all graduates from Berkeley and master's degrees, and they play with the Ellington Band and classical music. They were totally blown away. They still tell me today that it was a life-changing experience for them. Because the complexity of the music. So my drummer was sitting there and he said, man, that old lady dancing there, what was that? Was that 7 or was it 9/5? What is that?
But basically what you're saying is that there is a relationship between healing and music, or medicine and, and music.
Definitely.
And why don't we get that?
Well, like there's too much noise in the head.
Do you think we're not aware of the fact that, every aspect of our lives, is related to music in some way? Is related to sound.
Sound. What we've lost is this disconnect between us and nature. So if you go out on the street now and you ask 10 people, what is the phase of the moon right now? You will get 10 different answers.
Yeah?
Yeah. We are not even aware of that. See,
is there one answer?
Pardon?
Is there only one answer?
Why don't you look up into the sky and see for yourself?
They won't look up. They'll answer before even looking.
Now you're looking for gold. So there's definitely a relation between sound and health.
And health.
Yeah. If you listen to your inner sound, and begin to understand the sound within, that is the healing process.
You know, Abdullah, Ibrahim, you know, as human beings, we want to control everything and anything in our lives. But I think you have a philosophy on just the one thing that we either have control over or have no control over. What is the one thing that we actually do have control over?
Okay. See, when a baby is born, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first sound that it makes a sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in order to make the sound, it must breathe in.
Yeah.
Right? And then breathe out.
Yes.
Right? When you die, the last sound that you make in the last breath is a breath that goes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, both of those sounds at birth and at death, you have no control over. Right?
Yeah.
In your life, as we're speaking now, we are breathing, but we are almost unaware of it. It's automatic.
Yes.
Right? We have no control over it. But breath is the only thing that we as human beings have that we are able to control.
Mm-hmm.
Breath.
Everything else
is? Everything else is automatic. The only thing that you have is breath that you can control. You can decide which way you breathe in, breathe out, and so. Even the animals don't have this. We are the only creatures that have this capacity to control our breath.
Wow.
It's in that control of our breath that we discover the silence within, and we discover our sound, and we discover then that we have no conflict with anybody, and we don't have any conflict in the universe. We're at peace with everything.
Wow, and I that's quite profound. And I would imagine even just your understanding of spirituality and or religion is probably just as deep. I mean, you keep talking as we're having a conversation about you talking to your Japanese friend, doctor, is a mentor. What is he? Is your teacher?
My teacher. Yeah.
He's your teacher and teaching you what, judo?
Everything.
Okay, let's talk about.
We say Budo. Budo means people call it martial arts, but it has nothing to do with that. You see.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with fighting.
What is it?
You know, my teacher says if you want to fight, join the army. It is the process of understanding the breath, of understanding the self. You see, we can fix everything. We can fix a car. We can fix your computer. We know how it works, but we don't know how we are composed.
Yeah.
We have no understanding of ourselves. We don't have any understanding of how our breath works, or how our eyes work, or how our muscles work. So this is what Budo is. It's a lifelong quest to understand the self.
And how far are you with this quest?
You see, a few years ago, my teacher gave me a degree. Right? He gave me and he gave me this. He said, "Okay, now you are 9th degree black belt." After 50 years, you see.
After 50 years, 90 degrees.
50 years, ninth dan, 9th degree.
Oh, 9th degree. Okay.
9th degree black belt.
Okay.
So I said to my teacher, "Excuse me, teacher, but why do you give me this? Because I don't know anything." And he said, "That's precisely why I give it to you, because me too, I don't know anything."
Wow. Sure.
Right. So it is a quest of understanding the self.
Let's just quickly talk about your music, because yes, you know, people love you because of it. On top of everything else that you are about, you know, when you left, Menenberg, of course. I hope we're going to hear Menenberg at.
Definitely.
Performed by
we
the
have a
Jazz
new
Acoustic.
version. We have a new version of it also because Menenberg has changed.
Because
Menenberg
everything else has changed.
Pardon?
Because everything else has changed.
Everything else has changed. So we'll play a new relevance for Menenberg.
Yes,
the song
from the ancient tradition of Menenberg
precisely
to the new.
Because everything evolves,
Sure.
right? Everything evolves.
Sure.
If you stand still on a spot,
you're dying slowly if you stand still.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Joe from Kilimanjaro.
Prajo from Kilimanjaro.
Prajo from Kilimanjaro. That's song.
I recorded the song solo piano. And I've been working with this idea of creating a traditional rhythm. You see, and expanding on that traditional rhythm. So I put like the bass line. I think it was in 5 or I think 7. I can't remember. And then I am free to ride on it and go anywhere. See, in terms of tonality, in terms of structure. Okay. So this was the principle of Prajo from Kilimanjaro. And it really, for me, it said that we have the African tradition, which is that basic rhythm. And then this new relevance of expanding on top of it. Yeah.
Was Blues for a Hip King written for King Mswati?
King Sobuza.
Oh, Sobuza. My apologies.
King
of course.
For
when you're in Swaziland, yeah.
Yeah, I was in Swaziland. Yeah. So I wrote the song. He was quite an incredible person. Yeah.
Yep. And that is.
And also, you remember Sudwala Cave.
Yeah. Okay.
The Sudwala Caves. Yeah. This was very important in the narrative of the Swati people and King Sobuza. And I played a concert in that cave some years ago.
You talk about Prajo from Kilimanjaro, be a solo piano. Talking about being a soloist, do you think you are a soloist, and what's life like as a soloist?
This concept of solos is really foreign all because in the tradition, everything was communal, right? The piano just lends me this possibility to be the first line of presentation for composition. Because the piano really is basically a whole orchestra at your disposal.
So you're not a soloist, because that would be a very lonely life.
You take the words right out of my mouth. That's what we understand. You see, this concept of a soloist means that person is very, very lonely.
Wow.
Yeah, a very, very lonely life. We understand this. We understand this, and it's not just in terms of being a soloist as a musician. It's if you are on a quest striving to better understand the self. It's a lonely path.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lonely path, but we accept it because there are blessings along the road.
Sure. Abdullah, what are your thoughts on the future of South Africa, especially South African youth, compared to how you were in your youth, how you grew up? Just looking at the youth today.
Very vibrant youth, and we should be able to give some guidance in this regard on how to obtain the goals, and also in terms of business, how to take care of business. There's also, I think it's imperative that we young people begin to understand the dynamics of business.
Mm.
You know, on a local and on a global level. Because if you are going to be marketing yourself, this is totally imperative.
You know,
and especially in view of what is possible now with technology.
for sure,
You know,
for sure. You know,
this is why record companies and booking agents are almost like irrelevant.
what has been your relationship with record companies in the past? Has it been unmentionable?
Oh, I like that. Well, yeah, you know, record companies, right? It took me 60 years to record a project with piano, cello, and woodwinds. 60 years. They didn't want to. The taker said, "No, this is not acceptable because a jazz trio is piano, bass, and drums."
Mm-hmm.
And some of my music at that time, when I first started playing, when I started understanding my own sound and playing that, there were a few people who accepted it, but there was hostility. There was massive hostility.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's still like this.
And that's normally the reaction when somebody does not understand something. They become hostile.
Oh, this is normal.
Mm.
Yeah. So record companies, for example, the record companies' television program, some of the music that I recorded, when the record was released, we realized it was not what I played. See?
What did they do to your music, to your sound?
They edited out my solos.
Who? Wow.
The record companies, because I'm not supposed to sound like that, you see. I remember in Copenhagen once a television program, and the man was very enthusiastic about producing it. But when we saw the program
final
when it
product
was run, we said, but this is not what I played. They edited out everything which I'm not supposed to sound like. Because they were waiting for the penny whistles.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad. That is
yeah,
sad.
well, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Fortunately, I have a lot of back catalogue of recorded which have never been released.
Sure. So your music is going to last us generations to come. And talk about just coming back to the youth very quickly. You know, the youth these days are into rapping and hip hop, and they believe they are innovators of this thing. And I'm sure you think different.
You mean rap?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, my daughter is Jean Grey.
Yeah. And she does
so
that.
She had an interview said my daddy is a rapper.
And she was not lying.
No, because we grew up with rap. It was not just called rap.
Mm-hmm.
You see? But that delivery of a narrative in words is just nothing new.
Yeah.
It exists in all traditional cultures.
That's true.
It's like the storyteller.
Mm. Which is what's happening now. They are telling stories, but in a different way. That's true.
So we have a project going in that direction. I won't mention anything anymore about it.
Oh, we're gonna hear Abdullah Ibrahim rapping. Yeah. We look forward to that. Wherever it
God
is.
willing.
You know, SABC as of 2 weeks ago decided that blanket 18 radio stations should broadcast 90% South African music and 10% international music.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Oh, excellent. Well, this is I think on the international level, this is the same principle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the idea is to present traditional music to have an outlet for traditional music, anyway, but or local music. But there's also the possibility. If you look at the radio stations all over the world, they're all diverse, right?
Yeah.
There's some who just play jazz music. There's some who just play classical music. There's some play world music.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need this diversity there as well.
So it is excellent, except it has to be presented in its diversity.
Yeah, I'm saying if like SABC, for example, right, is one entity, right, and that's a fantastic
platform
step platform to present it. But what I'm saying that there are also everywhere in the world commercial stations,
yes,
that have their own policy of what they play. There are commercial stations that play only jazz. There are other stations that play classical music, others play world music. So there must be this kind of diversity also.
Mm. Well, we don't have a jazz station in South Africa, so we need one.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
We might get it. Since you are saying it, we might just get it. Thank you so much. Abdullah, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I know the listeners of the Urban Jazz Experience will look forward to seeing you perform with Brahu Masekela, doing this Jazz Epistles theme, which you're dedicating it to, another of our South Africa's icons. Thank you so much for talking to us on the Urban Jazz Experience.
Dedication is to Kippy, to Duke Ellington, to Monk, all the people who.
It's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us.
We are blessed. Take care.
Come for the jazz and stay for the good times.
On Jazz and Beyond with Nothemba Madumo.
On 702 and CapeTalk.